What's going on? I'm here back with another epic 7 video. Today, we're testing out Astromancer Elena or ML Elena, as well as Unbound Knight Arowell. And for the most part, both units, they have their specific uses. It was a rough time for ML Elena. I'm not gonna lie, it was very difficult to use her in just regular arena. Most of the time that you have units that are going to counter you, you're gonna go before them, right? And so we try to build her as a damage dealer in our first testing here. So we did put her on portrait. She's 315, 316 crit damage, almost 3.5k attack. And she does okay damage on her S3, but what you really want her to do is land her debuffs, right? We didn't build her here with effectiveness, so it was tough landing the debuffs because of 15% at times, and we didn't have over 150 effectiveness, right? We build her damage, and she does okay on damage. She does scale off of debuffs, right, with her S1, so when she attacks and the target has a debuff, she does increase the damage that she deals. We don't have S1 fully maxed out because we have her on Grace of Unity. For whatever reason, you can't choose where the molas go. But on the S3, she does a pretty decent amount of damage, I think. But with how we were trying to position her, we would usually go first. And if we went right after that, and we didn't completely nuke out the entire team, it was pretty much game over for us because Astromancer Elena doesn't have any kind of damage mitigation, right? She has a CR push on the S2, which is, honestly, I don't like it. It's really weird for her kit. She has a CR push. Maybe if she had a heal, I think that she has a lot of stats for damage, but her damage output isn't that high. And then she has specific things in her kit that allow her to be a really good support unit, like a support control unit, right? You're landing the debuffs, you're not allowing the opposing team to counter you. But then after that, she doesn't do anything. You can hit and then get a small CR push, but after that, if you don't take out the entire team, they just cycle off of their buffs and then start countering you anyways. You see here that we brought our new skill change Arowell, and she puts in a lot of work to soak up a lot of damage. But if you don't bring enough damage output yourself, she's just gonna go down. She takes in a lot of damage with that escort buff. We do have her on Adamant Shield as well. Adamant plus the escort, it's like Adamant Aureus, right? She's taking in a lot of damage. And so if she's not extremely tanky, you're going to have a bad time because she's going to take in a lot of damage. And we did try to bring her in with ML Elena because of the mono light skills, right? The mono light element in her kit, because we want those barriers, right? We're trying to protect. But you see here that we're trying to control comp this time. But you can definitely hold the S3. The big thing about her skill 3, right? The big thing about her kit is that you can soul burn. The soul burn here ignores effect resistance. So if you do have 20 souls, you can always soul burn to guarantee yourself to land the restrict and the cannot counter attack. Honestly, there were times where we didn't bring souls. We didn't land the cannot counter attack buff on units that we needed to land on, right? And that's kind of the thing. She does decent damage on the S3, but most of the units that are going to counter you, they're going to be very tanky, right? Like we're bringing her into Senyas, we're bringing her into Chews, potentially Rems on defense, right? Even Apocalypse Ravi is built on counter when she's on arena defense. So the units that aren't going to be able to counter you, they're still going to be insanely tanky. And unless you have some sort of defense break on your team, she's not going to put out enough damage. I think we could have gotten close to maybe like 350 crit damage, maybe 3.7k attack if she's like fully imprinted, because her imprint is max attack. So it gives her 18% attack. We have her at A imprint, so it's not it's not insane attack that we currently have, but for the most part, she did feel kind of weird overall. I don't know if her kit didn't really synergize well with the units that we brought her in, but you know, most units, if they're good, they do a pretty decent job, even in arena, right? Where it is a controlled environment. You can kind of pick and choose who they come with, who you go up against. But, you know, she just didn't feel right in any team that we tried. You know, her damage output on the S3 is decent. It's actually pretty good. But after that, like I said, if you can't take out the opposing team, it's going to be GG for you. So I think that she's probably going to work better in a cleave setup. And you can set up potentially, like, let's say we go with Rand, we set up the immunity, we go into the defense break, and then we S3 with Astromancer Elena. And if we have damage, we pretty much nuke out any squishies. And then the ones that are to the left, right, the tanky units that are to the left, they can't counter because they cannot counter attack, and they just finish them off. But if we're building her to bring her in as like a support unit, you know, I don't think damage is going to be the way. She doesn't have any survivability in her kit. And after she S3s, she's pretty much useless because she doesn't do any damage on the S1. So it was kind of tough to bring her in a lot of these cups. All right, so here she is, Astromancer Elena. Like I mentioned, she is on A imprint, but she's giving attack to the back too. You know, I think that this is probably going to be more effective than putting the attack on herself. Like I said, she doesn't deal an insane amount of damage. So I think what we're going to try to do for the GVG showcase is trying to build her on like a support, like very fast support, potentially high effectiveness, being able to land her debuffs. But I think that the attack going to the back two is going to help a lot more. As you can see here, 3.5k attack, 50-50 crit rate with a 98 crit, and 316 crit damage, 220 speed. You know, okay stats. She's not insanely fast, but unless you can get damage stats with like really high speed, I think that it is going to be tough to run her because she's not going to nuke out any one unit or the entire team after she S3s. She does deal a good amount of damage, you know, maybe putting her on rage set or something like that. If you can land some debuffs before, could make her do insane damage. But for the most part, if she landed her cannot counter attack and we didn't take out the enemy team right after that, they just cycled off of it and then countered us anyway. The CR push on the S2, I think this is a waste. Honestly, she could not have this and be completely fine. You know, maybe we can do some kind of cheese where we set up like our Ida. Since this is a non-attack skill, maybe we attack, this pushes up the Ida, and then we cleave or something like that. The S1 really doesn't do that much damage. I think, I mean, if you really want to do damage with her, you're going to max Mola the S1. But for the most part, she felt a bit odd, a bit weird in arena. You know, like I mentioned earlier, most units do a decent job in arena if they're good. Astromancer Elena just feels kind of all over the place. She doesn't have any survivability, so we did have to try to bring in other units to help protect her. But then after her S3, she just kind of sits there. She does give a little CR push, but that's pretty much it. I think Unbound Knight Arowell did a better job. She absorbed so much damage. You know, we have her at almost 22k HP, 1.3k defense, 217 speed. She does have very low base speed, so getting her to be fast is a struggle. She does have a lot of effect resistance though. I think that if I were to change her build, I would probably make her a lot more tankier, maybe like 25k HP and up, just so that when she's absorbing all of that damage, she doesn't get nuked out. The 200 effect res is actually really nice. She does get some bonuses when she's not debuffed, but for the most part, ML Elena and Unbound Knight Arowell. What are your thoughts for her? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like always, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button if you haven't subscribed. Hey, think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.